Hello and welcome to the Goofball Coalition. My name is Sarah Kennedy. I'm a stand-up comedian.
I'm Leslie Nesbitt, and I do sketch comedy.
Yeah, and this is the Goofball Coalition. Like I said before, the podcast where we kind of smush all these things together, all these aspects of comedy. We figure out why there's rivalry between them, how they can overlap, ways that they're similar, and it's stand-up, it's sketch, but it's also improv. And I'm super excited for everything that we've got going on today, aren't you, Leslie?
Yeah, I'm always excited.
I thought we should just get started.
Okay.
Welcome to the Goofball Coalition, the podcast that lives where improv, stand-up, and sketch comedy collide. And now, here are your hosts, Alex Knight, Sarah Kennedy, and Leslie Nesbitt.
All right. I love that updated intro. Thank you, Matthew Bloodsmith, for including Leslie in this.
Thank you so much. I love it a lot.
It's pretty good. The song is good too. That's a pretty sweet little ditty.
It's a jam. It's a bop.
It is.
Yeah.
It slaps, I've heard. So Leslie, we need to call out the obvious here. We are missing a member.
Mm-hmm.
We are down in Alex, but if you are out there and you're a regular listener, just don't worry, because the way that we've set up today's episode, Alex is very much involved and very much included.
Yeah, because it is the Q&A from our live show, the Goofball Show-alition, that happened at the Albuquerque Funny Fiesta.
Yeah, it was a really, really fun show. I had a great time.
It was it really made me laugh a lot, and it gave me a lot of happy feelings.
Yeah, me too. You know what's so funny too is, like, we did a Q&A at the end of the show, which is what we're about to cut to and enjoy as part of this episode. But so many people I talked to who weren't able to come were like, "What'd you guys just do, a podcast? Just a podcast?"
Nope.
And it's not what we did.
No.
And in fact, we did even more than what we pitched the festival, which is what I thought is extra special. So we told the festival very specifically, we want this to be the live show version of our podcast, but not our podcast live. So we wanted to smush up stand up and improv. And at the time when we pitched it, that was kind of the only thing. And so we wanted it to be an Armando where the monologist was a stand-up comedian.
Mm-hmm.
But then, Leslie, you took it up a notch. Do you want to tell everybody?
Yeah. I mean, I was like, how am I going to put sketch into this? I can't just bring a sketch. I'm like, that's not exciting. So I said, well, why don't I just write a sketch live from suggestions from the audience? And I think I did it in like 25 minutes.
Yes, you did. It was amazing.
Yeah. We got the suggestion of a trio and a line of dialogue and then a prop.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And the trio was Huey, Dewey, and Louie, which is awesome because it gave you your characters.
Yes. It was great. And then the line of dialogue, I think, was "Pass me the crackers."
Yeah.
And then the prop, Alex gave me a red Foursquare ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, it cannot be a ball in the scene.
Right.
Right.
It has to be anything, but you have to use it not as a ball. Yeah. So I made it a big giant zit on Huey's face. Yeah. It was fantastic. Yeah. It was so much fun to do that too. It was like very I don't know. It was very, maybe it's my ADHD and I like to procrastinate till the very last minute to do something, but I was like I could do this, you know? Yeah, I could do this.
It was awesome. You just spent, because we split up the improv into 2 15-minute chunks. And like, we sent you backstage and you were done in time to come and join everybody else for scenes in the second half, which was unbelievable. That was so impressive.
It was like when you asked me too, when you were like, "Are you done?" And I was like typing the last line. I was like, I mean, yeah. I can't go back and rewrite it. I'll just, okay, cool. And so just once, write it. It's done. Let's do it later. Yeah.
Yeah, it was perfect.
It's really fun. I can't wait to do that again, actually.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
If you're out there listening, because I also think that we got a lot of new listeners from last time. So they were there with us and they saw this.
Yeah.
But if you share this with a friend and they're wanting to come to the next live show, just let them know live show actually incorporates all these things, and it's more than just a podcast.
It's more just we won't have 3 chairs and 3 microphones. We're going to have improv, sketch, and stand up all together.
It is the spirit of this podcast alive on stage. That's
where else can we bring it? Come on.
Perfect. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cut to our Q&A, and y'all can get a chance to listen to what everybody had to ask us. And if you are out there being like, I have a burning question, I wish I could have been there to ask it. Number 1, come to the next one. Number 2, we are always accepting questions, and you can find us on our Instagram and send them to us in a DM, and we would love to include you in one of our episodes.
Yes, I would love that. I love Q&As.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. All right. So without further ado, here is our Q&A from the Albuquerque Funny Fiesta 2024.
Yeah.
Here we go. Record. Cool. All right, very good. Very good. All right. So if you've got, Kelly, will you bring up at least the house lights for... You can watch them. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. Yeah. So if you guys have like a question or something about stand-up, improv, sketch, and the way that they all like interact with each other, or even the stuff that you saw here tonight, like raise your hand. And you all should be very agreeable because you all did improv stuff earlier. Okay, fantastic. Yes, hello.
Do you get jealous of each other's main form when they're talking about it?
Did you get jealous of that car?
Yes.
Do we get jealous of our own main form? And if so, how?
Yeah, totally. Oh, yeah.
You do it.
Yeah, do it. Oh, hello. Yeah, so it's not over there, I guess. Yeah, I totally do. I'm super jealous. It's so much work, and I want the rewards. I get jealous of guitar players too. I'm like, fuck, look at him go. It's just so much work to do that form, and that like the times I have done stand-up, the risk reward is so high. Like the highs are so fucking high, and it's like, it's fucking great. And it's like I like doing. I always did like collaborative in like theater growing up. All of the art forms I did were collaborative. And then I started doing watercolors, and that was solo, and it was like, oh my God, I have full control of every piece of this art, and there's something really cool about that. It's also a little lonely sometimes, but I miss that full control of the art, though I love the teamwork of improv. So yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, absolutely love stand-up so much, and I get so nervous doing it. So I get jealous that people could just be up there for people an hour. People do hour-long. My brain. So yeah. How can you remember? Can't.
Perfect answers. I think I was always, since I started stand-up, I've always wanted it to be like a community sport or like a team sport, even though it's a solo art. And so you see these people who like Kristen Wiig, who obviously isn't a stand-up comedian or whatever, but she seems to be a solo performer, but she has this writing partner, and because of the two of them together, they made Bridesmaids, and they made exactly. And I was Spartan Star for Halloween last year. But the idea is the idea of finding somebody who would be like a writing partner with you, or go with you through this creative career was always something that I wished would happen. But stand-up being such a solo career, it's always just been me with my little ideas. And then I get to watch these amazing people have teams of people that they have to schedule, and also get to meet up with and make amazing things happen. So I get jealous about it a lot. Yeah. So good question. Another question? Yeah.
So there's some history and some momentum in both improv and stand-up locally. So I'm curious for Leslie, where do you want to see sketch go in the community?
Oh yeah. I love sketch so much. I would love to see other sketch teams, like my sketch team, the Doodles. Yes, we have such fun together, and we produce such good stuff that I would love to see other teams, independent sketch teams, get together. And I know in order to get that, maybe there needs to be more sketch classes, more writing groups. Because I know you have a writing group, so maybe we need a sketch writing group that we just get together and brainstorm and all that stuff. So I would love to see like a sketch fest, which would be just so fun and beautiful and lovely. Mm-hmm.
All right, other questions? Come on, there's something in there.
Come on, let's do it.
Yes.
I was very impressed by your sketch writing in the course of 45 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you have practice with that? Or was that one of the first times you've done that? How often do ideas come together that quickly for you? Is it...
This was, I would say I don't do that as often, although I feel like I should, because sometimes what gets you with sketches, if you think about it too much, then you don't do anything. So as long as you like vomit out that first draft, then you can work further on it, get more and more drafts. I have done this once before, but it was like a 24-hour fest, and I had like overnight to write a 1-act, and it was it was so much fun. I wrote 2 people going for an interview, but then also Glee. Right? It's a good mix. I will say I grabbed the perfect notebook. I just grabbed it out of my file cabinet. It actually had all my sketch class notes. And it was like, first set it up, then put the funny, and then have, and I was like, great, this is great, just to help me out. But yeah, I really think it's good to get that vomit it out, and then work on it.
So I've got another question for you, Leslie, in particular, just because Alex and I have talked about it on the podcast before you came around. AI is like a thing, and like you can make AI art, you can have AI do a whole world of things. Do you see anything on the horizon that you think AI is like a threat to Sketch or a help for Sketch, or like some way that AI is coming around for it?
That's a good question. I don't want it to do anything, but I think the only thing it could be good as, like if you're trying to come up with funny names or a funny title, you could be like, ChatGPT, give me 5 silly titles. And then, it generates the idea. Like I can see how it could help you, but like other than that, I really think that AI cannot be funny. They don't know. They just don't know.
You got some snaps for that.
Thank you.
All right. We gotta get out of here. One thing I will say is like, I do have one more question for Alex in particular. So on the most recent episodes that came out today, one of them was about the funny kisses, so thank you all for being here. Oh, I love the snaps, that's so fun. Anyway, but the other one was about us taking ourselves out of our comfort zones, and at the very end of the episode, we talked about puppetry. And I own a puppet. Leslie owns a couple puppets that we got a chance to see today, and we made a commitment at the end of the episode to show up to the next improv jam, which is Thursday here in the box, by the way. Clap it up for it. They do it every month on the third Thursday. We are going to do long form with puppets, and we're going to include other people that we know in the community who have puppets. Yep, 1,000%. Whoever raised your hand, yep. And Alex doesn't own a puppet, so my question to end this Q&A is to Alex. Alex, in your mind, what is the most perfect of your puppets?
Ooh.
I mean, like I saw yours last week, and I think like a malleable, like, base puppet that it could even wear stuff, that it could change. Because I don't want like a snake, because it's like always a snake or whatever. So something that could like change. I think I like the Muppet format. Like I like that Grover format.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of the answer.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I like that.
I need a puppet though. I should have a puppet.
You got a week?
Okay. All right. I'll have one.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So if you've never been to the improv jam, you don't have to get up and do improv. You can just watch it and enjoy it, and it will happen on Thursday, and we will do puppet improv for you, and it's free. So it's right wherever you're sitting right now. How comfy you are. Imagine that.
Yeah.
So we have to close this out because there's about to be another show across the hall. Which, by the way, if you had so much fun here at the Funny Fiesta, we've got roast war happening across the hall. Woo! Yeah. So if you thought improv was like, oh, how nice. Everybody's really agreeing with each other. How squishy and amazing. How sweet. It was like a hug of a show. And you want to like get that off of you. Across the hall will be a team-based roast where they will just like rip each other to shreds. So we love to provide all of that for you guys as part of the Funny Fiesta. But thank you all for being here tonight. Give it up for the Goofball Show-alition. Give it up for the improvisers one more time. And we'll see you all. And then for Kelly. Give it up for Kelly. And we'll see you all next time. Thank you guys. Bye. Man,
So many questions.
so many answers.
Yeah.
It was great.
Good questions too.
Yeah, I really appreciated everybody's questions.
I did too.
Yeah, okay, so this is segment 3, right? This is the time when we usually get to plug things, ask lingering questions that we have for each other, or my lingering question is, where's Alex? But
Just a lingering curiosity.
yeah, it's like a Carmen Sandiego situation.
Yes, it is. And I was really good at that video game, but I don't know about real life if there's going to be clues.
We're gumshoes now.
Yeah, and a farmer's almanac. Little encyclopedia is what I used. Yep.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
So we actually got a new patron on our Patreon. I wanted to go, let me find it real fast.
How fun.
I'm
That's
super excited
exciting.
too. So by the way, if you're out there and you're curious and you'd like to join our Patreon, it is patreon.com/the Goofball Coalition podcast.
Yeah.
And our current membership has quite a few people. We've got 13 people who are part of our Patreon group, and basically all we ask of you is $1 a month, and then you get to just stake your claim on whose team you're on, whether that is team stand-up, team improv, or team sketch.
Nice.
And that money goes to keeping us live on the air. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But our new patron is Dennis. So give it up for Dennis for following us. Thank you so much,
Dennis. Thank you. Ooh.
So yeah, be like Dennis. Come on in.
Yeah, come on in. Be a Patreon.
Mhm.
Maybe I'll make stickers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's a nice thing too. Now's a good time to join our Patreon if you wanted to become one of our patrons, because now that we've got these live shows happening, we have a way to make you feel like our VIPs during the live shows. So if you follow us now, we've got a great way to connect with you and make you feel like your $1 a month is extra worth it. So
Yeah.
get in there, pick your team, and we'll do something real fun and surprising.
Yeah, right? Who knows? But we've got 3 great minds that could think of something.
Speaking of which, by the time this one airs, the improv jam will have passed. And we made a very strong commitment that we were going to show up and do puppet long form at the improv jam.
Yes.
How close are you to making that commitment?
I'm close.
I'm close too. I can do it.
I can do it. I my only anxiety about it for some reason is, how am I going to sweep scenes?
Yeah.
But why is that an anxiety?
Well, we're not gonna. Yeah, I mean, so it's gonna be us doing it Avenue Q style, where we'll walk around with our puppets. So it's not behind it's not behind a thing. It'll be up and around, so we can physically swipe if we need to. So
Yeah, great. I'm really excited.
I am too.
I need to use that puppet more than just sitting there.
Yeah, mine too. She shouldn't be collecting dust. It messes up her fur. So.
Yeah. Yes. 100%.
But then, anything else to plug? Anything else going on?
Very important is the show at the Box on Fridays and Saturdays. We're now at 8 p.m. because it's winter. I call them the winter hours. Darker earlier. 9 p.m. seems like midnight in the winter time. So we're just going to go to 8 p.m. have a nice little shows then. So make sure you come and see us.
Yeah, absolutely. I think 8 p.m. is such a perfect time too for y'all's show. It's just what I associate with it. So it's nice when you guys go.
Yeah, it's really fun. Oh, and then the jam in October is gonna it's on Halloween.
Oh,
so come down if you don't have anything to do for Halloween. Come down in costume. Me and Kevin Bransford who's in the show, we're in charge of it. So we're going to do something fun. But I do know that like costumes are involved, probably candy. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, Halloween, make that your plan.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
The weekend before Halloween, we're doing Night of the Living cover comics, which is all the comics come and they do somebody else's set, like a more famous comedian set. Although some people have done other local comedian sets in the past too.
That's fun.
Yeah, and then the 9:30 that night is the monster sets that we ideated here in this podcast, where people will come doing sets as monstrous characters, like
I
famous.
cannot wait.
I'm very excited about it. I need to follow up with people and let them know, like, this is what this is. This is what we're doing. But
Yeah. Don't forget, guys.
yeah.
Here comes the money.
But anyway, down on Second and Gold, there's something every single weekend,
Yeah.
and it's always worth it to check out. But that is going to do it for us. Thank you all so much for listening or watching, wherever it is that you get this podcast. And we'll talk to you guys next time.
Yes. Goodbye.